This football season has given us some remarkable team achievements, like Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen going undefeated in every single competition, but has also given us some equally as bad team achievements, like Ten Hag's Reds going out in almost every single competition. So today, we're going to take all those team achievements and see if they warrant either an S tier or F tier. Where will your team place?
Varvar, that was a whole lot of yapping. Let's get started.
Usually we go back and forth here. Usually it's not so straightforward. Millie's not here for 1 week and then it's like, goes crazy.
Hey, you're the host today.
I am the host, and I said Millie is not here this week. But Millie, present us the first team.
The first club up is Barcelona. With an unfortunate Champions League loss in the quarterfinals and a far second to rivals Real Madrid in La Liga, Barcelona's trophy cabinet is looking empty this season. But with breakout seasons from Lamine Yamal and Cubarsí and a great season from their league top scorer Lewandowski, not all was lost for the Blaugrana this season. Where do we have them?
Before we get into Barcelona, just a little bit on how it's going to work. We're each going to talk about the teams a little bit, feel it out, and then give our scores. We're each going to give a score. The average of that score is going to be what the team gets.
And you have to be as unbiased as possible. So I'll start. Barcelona in F tier.
Varvar, I just said we were going to talk about the teams a little bit before giving the tiers.
Barcelona F minus tier, actually.
It's just going down, Varvar.
Okay, we're going to leave Varvar out of it. This is a me and Firm's conversation here.
I'm not wearing my Barca kit today. I can't lie. I don't know if it's up, but listen, it's not been a great season.
Look, it's all fun and games. Barcelona obviously are not F tier. They had a good season, or I'm not going to say good. They had an okay season by their standards. If you told me before the season started that they would be competing with Girona and not Real Madrid, I would say it's pretty much a failure, but we're going to add some context to it.
Exactly. Context, coming off of a La Liga win.
Yes.
You have the positives that you developed Lamine Yamal and you found Cubarsí.
Those are huge positives, though.
But then Xavi left halfway through. He admitted he was going to leave at the end of the season.
He low-key was about to
negative.
quit.
And guys like Victor Roque, that's just a negative as well. So considering you won the league last season, this is a really unsuccessful season.
There was never a comfortable window in this season where you could say, oh, Barcelona is going to get result after result after result. Even when they were winning, it was by 1 goal. And they barely scraped it out of the groups, if we're being for real, in a pretty weak group. And then on top of that, you go out to a PSG side, which we could say was one of the weaker PSG sides we've seen in recent years, that went out to Dortmund in the end. I don't think it's an A or B or even S season for Barcelona.
I can't lie, this looked like a year where Barcelona was rebuilding once again. And I feel like they could build off of this year, but it wasn't a great year. You know, as you said, the Champions League exit wasn't great.
I feel like this was a major step back from last season.
I disagree.
In my personal opinion.
Bro, it wasn't all bad. Rafinha developed.
Yeah.
Lamine Yamal, you just discovered a superstar almost. There is something still there. It's not a failure.
That rock-solid defense that they had was not so rock-solid this year.
That's just because of an Araujo red card. That's really all you're basing it off of.
Yeah,
it didn't get that bad.
If you look at Pau Cubarsí, that guy is going to be a rock for Barcelona for the years to come.
Glorified Eric Garcia, but whatever.
Cap, bro.
No, that's wild.
Whatever.
If you watch this guy as a young center
Can we
back,
give our grade?
What's your actual grade?
Bottom of C tier. That's
Bottom of C tier.
Bottom of C.
I'll agree with the C just because I was expecting a little bit more. They have a good squad. Xavi might not be the right guy, though.
So you're going C?
I'm going smack middle C.
Okay. I think you guys are underrating. I'm going to go C+. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't a complete disaster class. I'm going C+, so the average score is going to be a C.
But thing is, you look at your competitors, Real Madrid. You gotta take that into consideration.
It's really looking like we're about to get a Real Madrid whole era of dominance.
That's what I'm saying.
I have a feeling that you said in the TikTok that Lamine Yamal brings back them. That brings back.
If Lamine Yamal doesn't turn out to be what Lamine Yamal can be, Barcelona is in a lot of trouble for this next decade.
That's what we said about Ansu Fati. Anyway, Millie, what's the next team?
The next club up is AC Milan. They looked impressive this season, with new additions like Pulisic and Reindeers securing second place in Italy. However, Milan did not make it out of the group of death in the Champions League, and no domestic trophies were won. Where do you put Milan's season?
Bro, did this brother just say looking impressive?
Looking impressive and then proceeded to list 0 achievements.
That's like when a girlfriend says, do I look fat in this?
Wait, Firms.
No, Bello, you look good.
Firms, I want to hear, right now, we're not waiting for I want to hear your grade right now, and then we're going to dissect your grade, okay?
I'll give you my grade, Varvar. Higher than Barcelona, but still a C.
Okay. So
That's pretty
That's
reasonable.
how far the standards have dropped in Milan's history. That a year where you guys finished last in your Champions League group.
We didn't finish last.
You finished last.
No, Newcastle
sorry,
did.
third, whatever. Congrats, you got a ribbon.
Same amount of points as PSG.
We got the same amount of points as PSG. Oh my God!
PSG made a semi-final.
Okay, whatever. You guys didn't make it out of the group in Champions League,
Okay.
and you won nothing.
And lost to Roma in the Europa League.
So your standards have dropped so much where you would actually give yourself a passing grade.
Why,
A C.
You think it's a failure of a season?
100%. A serious team would call it. If Inter had your season, we'd be giving it D or F.
But that's because Inter's supposed to be winning the league. We were not supposed to be winning the league.
Brother, you won
We
the
achieved
league.
second.
If we go
Yeah,
back in
we weren't
time,
supposed to win that.
If we go back in time, I'm sure we could find a clip of you somewhere saying that Milan should win the league.
Brother, I've been saying this. I put a bet on it.
So what are we debating here? This has to be, in my mind, a D tier.
I like that.
But why? Like, it's the play styles that is not good. Like, if you look at the way we're playing, it's just horrible.
Oh,
That's
but
the
you're
only
winning.
reason. We're winning.
So what did you win?
But we won games. It's just we didn't finish we didn't win the Coppa Italia.
Yeah.
We didn't win trophies. But we were there.
The standards have dropped so far for your institution that you're giving a trophyless season where you didn't make it out of the groups a C.
So why does Barcelona get a C?
Because
Same exact season. They won
no,
last
they
year too.
made it through the groups first of
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, and then they got schmacked by PSG.
They're in a
who we
league.
beat
They're in a league
3-0.
with Real Madrid, so let's cut them a bit of slack there.
While we're competing with Inter, who apparently is the best team in the world.
So Inter, Real Madrid, same tier, or
Inter was in a Champions League final last year. That's all.
I
I'm
can't
saying.
even
Madrid
hop
are in
into
the
this
Champions League
conversation right
final
now.
this year. But whatever, we'll digress. I'm giving them D tier. I think they're not an F tier where it's like a total collapse of a season, but I would say not there this season.
That's a little bit unfair, Vavar, because was it more positive than last season, would you say, Firms?
No, we won the league last season. No,
No,
Napoli.
Napoli did. And you won
Milan
this-
fan, by the way.
Yeah,
Milan
exactly.
fan, by the way. Sorry.
No, but that's just that's a 40 that's a
mi-
Freudian slip right there.
Yeah, I missed like the year.
But would you say it's more positive than last season? I'll answer for you. Yes, it was, because you claim all your signings have been positive and that you
Name-
have a good foundation for the future.
Name me one miss.
Well, they're all mid.
Where do I
so-
get
Name
started?
me one miss. Go ahead.
None of them
Barbara.
are
I'll
misses.
wait.
Where do I get started?
None of them are misses.
None of them are misses because none of them had expectations. That's the difference. Is you get a guy like Chukwueze where did anyone expect him to be the next Leao? No.
But I would not necessarily say any of them have been out of the ballpark hits.
Exactly. Mid.
There's all still
Pulisic
in
has been a
question.
hit.
Pulisic has been a hit. A hit for Milan.
Well,
for Juve-
these are the players who are changing country and are arriving in a big club, and they have to prove themselves. Now we'll see in the next years.
So, Paolo, what's your final tier?
I don't know. That messed me up because that's little boy mentality right there. But they're a little boy club. That's why I'm gonna further expectations C tier.
Okay, so we got a low C right now from our averages.
Okay, that's fine.
Millie, what's the next team?
The next club up, Bayer Leverkusen. 50 unbeaten games, the new record for the longest undefeated season in history belonging to Bayer Leverkusen. Xabi Alonso has done the impossible and won Bayer's first ever Bundesliga title and on their way to an EL final. Where should this team rank?
Now, I know what you guys are going to say, but is this really an S tier?
Yes, because I'm the
I know.
Yes.
I'm the biggest hater. Like I might be one of the biggest haters on Box to Box, if not the biggest hater. No, just hate in general.
Oh, you're just a hater.
I just propagate hate towards football clubs.
Propagate unverifiable information.
Literally. But Bayern, I can't find something to
You
fault
can't
these
hate
guys
him.
on. I mean, Vara's gonna say, I already know what he's gonna say. Bro, this is like a Bundesliga and
my God.
actually no, you're gonna say this. If you take
What am I
these
gonna say?
players and put them in a different team, then they're all mid.
Cap. I think they're gonna ball out.
Didn't you tell me this is an
I
Inter
said this.
situation?
I said this.
Oh, it's you that said this. Okay, go on.
I said if you put like players like Grimaldo in a different team, they're not looking like a top 3 left back in the world.
Which is true. Which
I
is
can
true.
agree with that.
But at the same time, this season we're rating their season, and
Oh,
unfortunately,
I
that's
agree.
the reality of their
Gotta
season.
give them their flowers.
It has to be an S tier because even if you're in the Bundesliga, even if you're in, look, in the TikTok I said the weakest top 5 league. I'll say the second weakest top 5 league. Then even if that's true, you deserve an S tier. You went undefeated. It's like you can't even debate that.
But what's crazy is that they smoked every team. Except those couple of
No,
draws.
they were like 11 games where it was one goal. I can't deny that's still impressive, but you won last minute games like 11 times.
Like Roma, that game where they tied it up late, that was actually
That was nuts.
crazy.
But you know what's crazy is that every time they knew they will win. You know, you've seen the clip with Xabi Alonso and seeing Roma, and he knows he's gonna win that matchup.
Yes, but what happens next season when 2 or 3 of those last minute winners don't get last minute winners, and then you see over time, like next season, it would not surprise me if they finished like not even close to Bayern.
It really depends on Xabi
But
Alonso.
still in CL.
CL is still a great achievement for
Oh,
a
I
team like
agree.
Bayer Leverkusen.
I agree 100%. Like next year, I don't think the expectation should be title, to be honest.
Depends who leaves, who comes in. Like realistically, they will be losing players. There's no way they can keep that entire squad, no matter how much friendship they have amongst the players.
Especially people like Wirtz.
True. Oh,
World class,
yeah, but Wirtz is staying. Xabi Alonso's staying.
Yeah.
Wirtz is going to stay and then end up going to Real Madrid with Xabi Alonso. Watch this space.
Written in the start.
That could be. Wait, you're saying go to
Xabi
Real
Alonso is
Madrid?
going to go
Yeah.
next year.
Wirtz is not going to Real Madrid, bro.
Why not?
Where does he fit in? Like that it doesn't fit in the plan.
Luka Modric replacement.
Drippy. But that's big shoes to fill.
Yeah, that's
Big
massive
shoes to fill, but Wirtz looks like he's a man with small
Big feet.
shoes, but he can fit those shoes.
You could have just said big feet. Anyway, S tier for me. Lover S tier.
S tier.
There we go.
Millie, what's the next team?
Next, we are back in the Premier League. It is Chelsea. A shaky Premier League campaign weighs heavy on Chelsea's season, but they have shown to be a good team. Appearances in the FA Cup semi-final and runners-up for the EFL Cup help their overall stock. Stars like Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez are bright spots on this team. So, where do they stand amongst Europe's best?
Look, Chelsea, some people may have positive reviews, negative reviews. Let's just see.
What have we seen, Pala?
What have we seen? We've seen Enzo Fernandez is mid.
Cap.
Caicedo is good, but he's nowhere near the elite CDMs of the world.
Not yet.
Mudryk is aight,
Mudryk, I'm investing my stocks.
and Pochettino's kind of the only glimmer of hope in that team. And
So
the fact
you have mostly a negative view on this season.
I do, but at the same time, I can see this recent form of Chelsea like carrying over into next season, and I'm considering it aight. It's an alright season.
I would say generally that they had a positive season. If top Chelsea hater, is saying they had a generally positive season, because before the season started, we could easily say that this could have gone out of control. Like it could have like swiveled into like back-to-back mid-table finishes.
Well, I believe you had them like 8th.
I probably had them even lower potentially.
Yeah, I think I might have had them 8th as well.
Oh no,
Didn't we-
I might have had them top 4. But I'm
you're
saying there might have been consensus of them being mid-table.
I think I was the only one that said they were going to be low, and I think the rest of us said that they were going to be like decent. Which I mean, towards the end, they're in a European spot. So,
And that's what matters. I think that's their level right now. So
Yeesh. I'd rather not be in a European spot than be in Conference League.
I think they've outperformed their league position, though. I think they've performed better than the league position states.
Where did they finish last season? It was mid-table, no?
12th?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
very
very
bad.
mid-table.
Something like that.
it's a step up.
Yeah, but
It's still not
what
Chelsea
standard
levels.
are we giving? That we're giving 500 million spent from 12th. If you spent 500 million and you were in 12th, you should be in top 4.
They played in the final also, let's not forget. Actually, no, they played in the
The
semi.
final of Ugats versus Stugats.
That's FC.
No, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, they played in the Carabao Cup final plus the semi-final of an FA Cup. If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
I
they
might
did.
be
They
mistaken.
did. They lost to City in the semi-final, which
Yes.
they actually put up a fight.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say, the last 2 City performances that they've played versus,
Very good.
They've been pretty good.
I'm giving them a low B.
That's
Low B?
really high.
I'm giving them a low B, and I'm not even a Chelsea liker. I'm not a Chelsea.
This is gonna be one of those that if they end up in B tier, because I ain't giving them B tier.
No.
You're gonna look at the list at the end after we've done all the teams
And
and
we're
be
gonna
like,
be like,
how did Chelsea get into B tier?
I just think that they performed better than the numbers show.
They're underperforming. I agree with that.
No, bro. They spent $500 million.
And it's not showing up for it yet, but I feel like it will eventually.
If Liverpool would have spent 500 million last summer on transfers, they would have been the main contender and probably even beating City. I'd
But
say.
we didn't go into the season with expectations. So
I had.
next year there will be expectations. for
Okay.
me. Next year, top 4. If you don't make top 4, in my opinion, it's a failure of a season.
If that's the consensus, I'm fine with that. But I'm still giving them a high C tier.
Yeah, I'm gonna go C tier, middle.
Okay.
Middle of the pack.
Right now, we're in agreement that it's high C.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Millie, what's the next team?
The next club up, Paris Saint-Germain. A revolutionized PSG had high hopes this season, built to seriously compete for their elusive first Champions League title. Even with arguably the best player in the world, Kylian Mbappé, they could not get the job done in Europe. In France, it's a different story with another Liga title wrapped up. Where do we have them?
PSG fans, you might have an alternate opinion, but coming from an outsider that doesn't watch every single one of your games, you guys basically had the most PSG season of all time. You won your league with no competition, and you lost to some random team in the Champions League. So at the end of the day,
Respect Dortmund.
that ain't who I think it is.
I'm just kidding. We don't respect Dortmund over here.
So
Hey.
this is mid. This is so mid.
I think it's another season where PSG is kind of regressing, but they had a decent season.
They had to regress to move forward
Yeah,
eventually.
it's like they're taking a step back to
Yeah.
bounce forward.
And if it was a bad manager, I'd say, okay, whatever. But I trust that. I trust Luis Enrique.
The argument that you use for Chelsea, you're not using here, is that these brothers also spent like 300, 400 mil last summer.
Facts.
That is true. That is true.
On top of Mbappe's salary,
Yeah.
which is also
200 million, I think.
crazy.
Yeah, like I had high hopes for PSG. I had them as my winners. You had them as your dark horses. I mean, this just wasn't. Even the way they made it to the CL semis, it wasn't convincing. So I would say a C tier for me.
Yeah, but Varva, what matters is that they made it to a semis. So that's why I would go B minus. I think it's a successful season for PSG, but
And reminder, in January, Luis Enrique came out publicly saying certain things that he wanted to buy. He wanted an experienced midfielder because look what they were working with all season. But you're working with Ugarte, Vitinha, which are two guys that just got into the club.
Ugats.
Yeah, literally Ugarte.
Ugarte.
It's just a bunch of youngsters. You lost Verratti, so I don't know. You know what? I'm tending to feel a lower B tier.
So we're all in agreement that they're low B, higher than Milan, as per usual. Next team up, Billy?
The next club up is Inter Milan. This year's Serie A winners were firing on all cylinders this season with over 90 points in Serie A and an outstanding goal-scoring record. It unfortunately wasn't enough, though, to get them back to the CL final. But with a domestic double, where would you rank Inter's season?
Gawk, 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 gawk.
with one of the best cores in all of Europe.
Okay. I don't want to act like I need to get up my knees and clean up a bit here, but I'm gonna just say low S.
He doing tricks on it.
Low S, bro.
He doing tricks.
Low S is reserved for the likes of Bayern and some other team that we have yet to mention.
No,
Inter-
Bayer Leverkusen's top of S.
Agreed.
S in general. S is it's an
Inter's
untouchable.
low S.
For what?
They dominated in Serie A like teams we haven't really seen before since Juve.
And in Europe,
In Europe, they dominated up until they were everyone's sleeper
up.
CL pick.
Let me get this straight. So
Yeah.
they dominated Serie A, which is for you a very shitty league. But
They were
that
two
warrants an S-
Sassuolo losses away from going
wait,
undefeated in
let
the
him
league.
finish his logic.
and that gives them an S tier.
I'd give
But
them
you
an
forgot
S.
about the Champions League.
Oh, Champions League.
Yes, because he shot on you for crashing out of Champions League, playing versus semi-finalists and finalists.
Yeah.
But
But then
Inter,
Atletico.
Yeah, but Inter can lose to Atletico, which
Look.
What happened there?
Atletico are still. I still put more respect on Atletico than Dortmund. I don't care if Dortmund beat
That's crazy.
Atletico. Like I couldn't care less. That
You
Dortmund
gotta
beat
respect
Atletico.
Dortmund one
I
day.
can't. It's actually like they're like a Sunday league side to me. It's like I cannot respect Dortmund.
A Sunday League side that's in the final. But anyways, Inter.
Fifth in the Bundesliga.
like I've always said, the Champions League, and this has to be said, the Champions League is not representative of the best teams in the world. It's representative of whichever team can have the best purple patch at the right time.
And that's why Inter was in the
That's
Champions
why
League final.
Inter finished with an insanely high amount.
No,
of
but that
points
was
in Serie A.
matchup. That was matchup merchancy right there. Because they just happened to play. They just played a glorified Coppa Italia. Varver said this hundreds of times, but they played a Napoli and AC Milan to get to the final. But anyway, I digress.
Coppa Italia, they lost against Bologna. Let's not forget that.
That is true.
An
That is
extra
true.
time.
This is a clear A. Like as
It's
a Milan
true.
fan, I could comfortably say this was an A because they didn't do much in Champions League. They won the league as they were supposed to. Coppa Italia they didn't win.
There were a lot of question marks going into the season, though. If they were going to be able to repeat the form they had last season into this season, and they are actually way better this season.
Well, they won the season. Last season they lost to Napoli, so
It's an A tier.
it's an A tier. I'm saying A
High
tier.
A tier maybe.
You're saying high? I'm saying just smack in the middle of it.
So we're in agreement. It's a high A tier for Inter. Millie, I got up off my knees. What's the next team?
The next club up is Real Madrid. This year's finalists and the crowned champions of Spain, Real Madrid have been nothing short of extraordinary as of late, winning the league with over 90 points, 17 points more than their closest rival, Barcelona. Some people thought they would not be as strong as seasons past, but this is Real Madrid. Where do we have them, boys?
Madridistas, stand up. What a side we are. What a side we are, Madridistas.
Madridistas, I'll give you the respect. I'm gonna just straight up say it. There's nothing much to say. S tier. That's an S tier team.
S tier.
Yeah, that's an S tier team.
S tier, easy S.
Yeah.
Why?
Why are you questioning it?
I'm saying higher A.
Brother,
What?
they were coming off of losing the title to Barcelona last season.
Okay.
They won the title.
But against like Girona and Barcelona,
They beat Manchester-
That really didn't compete.
They beat the best team in the world, Manchester. They beat the other side from them.
We are the best team in the world.
Okay, well, you beat the second best team in the world, then Manchester City.
I'll give them that.
Like bested. Well, they didn't really deserve to win it, but whatever.
They got to a Champions League
They won
final,
it.
which
They
one-
won it.
And we have an absolute cakewalk in the finals that we're going to beat like 5-0.
Cap, but they lost their domestic cup to Bilbao.
We lost the domestic cup.
Copa del Rey, what are we going to do without it?
Bro, that
Brothers, you
sounds
are
like an
Real
out.
Madrid. You are Real Madrid.
Bro,
you gotta win your stuff.
They can hit a double with the two most important things you can double in the Champions League and the league. So
The league, I'm still not gonna give it as much importance as the Champions League because of the Barcelona and Girona
You
competition.
realize they are about to win the title and Champions League with Hosselu up top. There is no club in world football that could do what they're doing.
you know what, bro? We kind of have no. If you're in the Champions League final, no, if you win the Champions League, sorry, because that would make Dortmund an S tier. You should automatically get an S tier.
So what happens if they don't win?
They're gonna
They're
win.
winning.
They're
They're
What
playing
gonna
happens
Dortmund.
if they don't?
No,
Playing
they will.
Give me some-
Dortmund.
Bro, they're literally playing farmers.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Fifth in the Bundesliga, bro.
If they don't
Julian
win-
Brandt is your star player.
Regardless, this is not about Dortmund. I feel like we will be getting to them soon. But Real Madrid is an S tier, non-negotiable.
High A for me.
Well, unfortunately, firms, your opinion doesn't matter in this case. It's SS, A+. It's going to be low to mid S tier. Melly, what's the next team?
We'll be heading to Germany, where it is Borussia Dortmund. It is a tale of two teams. On one hand, Dortmund defied all the odds and have made it to the Champions League final. But on the other hand, it has not been up to par in the Bundesliga. It's been a special season for Dortmund, but a lot can be covered up by a strong CL campaign. Where do they sit right now?
Melly said it the best. A pretty bad Bundesliga season covered by the fact that they trickled their way into a Champions League final.
But you gotta take it into consideration. That's a big achievement for a club like Dortmund. Varva, what are you doing?
We're cooking on this side of the table.
What are we
What are
cooking?
we cooking?
The most meaningless CL final appearance we're going to see of all time.
Well, Inter did it last season, so
So they already won
second
that
most
one.
meaningless.
They're going to get smoked in the final.
Okay, the Dallas brothers just trying to cook up comps.
Brother, this is like a B minus.
How can, bro? They're in a Champions League final.
They're fifth in the Bundesliga.
in a Champions League final.
It's like if I don't even know, Brest made the CL final. That's the equivalent. They had the league equivalent of Brest.
exactly.
I wouldn't mind seeing
They're
some
the
Brest in the
Brest
CL
of the
final.
Bundesliga. Televised Brest.
Some chicken breasts. It's a good old, just well spiced, maybe
A
fried.
little bit of mayo on the side.
KFC, possibly Nando's.
Yeah.
Look, the reality of the matter is that Dortmund rose to the occasion in one competition. In every other one, they did not.
But it's like the one competition they do good in is the best competition in the world. So,
Group of death too, by the way.
group of death.
I am taking this word for word from one of the people sitting here. I'm not going to say the name. But if you don't dominate domestically, I can't take you serious. That's what was said. I can't.
That was me. That's me, dog.
So you have to defend your statement, Paolo. Where are you putting them?
The Dortmund fans are watching you.
That really don't mean nothing. There's like two
Come
out
at me,
there.
bro. There's two of them, and they just bark in everybody's comments.
And then they like a couple TikToks of me saying they're terrible.
Go back to your cage.
We'll see you there.
Speed doesn't even rate you guys.
This aside, I'm gonna say high B tier, because if you did not make a Champions League final, you were actually F tier.
Are you crazy?
If they did not make a CL final, it would be D tier or even lower.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. Because they still topped the group. So, actually, what did I say? I don't even forget. I forget what
B
I said.
plus.
B
You
tier.
said B top.
Okay, I'll say low A. Actually,
I agree. Low A. Brothers, Who expected
If
Dortmund
they
in a
didn't make a
Champions League
CL final, if they didn't make a CL final, where would you put them?
The season would be drastically shittier.
But what would you put if they no CL final? Where'd you put them?
Like a C.
See?
Yeah.
They
No
didn't make.
trophies.
They
Wait.
finished fifth.
Yeah, that's horrible for Dortmund. Dortmund's supposed to be number 2.
Well, they're in a rebuild season.
Stuttgart finished on top of them.
That's
There's
on
a
them.
third division German team in the final of the DFB Pokal.
So doesn't that just put things into perspective? They're
Of
not
how
supposed
shit
to be,
they are.
but they're not supposed to be in a Champions League final. Yet they
Brother,
are.
what's the next team?
Oh my god. So where are we putting them?
F.
A minus.
F.
Boys, the next club up is Liverpool. In Klopp's final season, Liverpool unfortunately were not able to keep pace in the Premier League to win his second PL title. A Carabao Cup win makes sure Klopp doesn't leave without some silverware. But it wasn't a dominant Liverpool season that was expected from them. So, what tier should the Reds be in?
I still think Liverpool had a decent season. I'll say that. They still had a decent season.
They were competing for a while, which competing for the Premier League with that starting 11.
It's honestly great.
Yeah, that's Klopp. That's like basically all Klopp.
Yeah. But then we saw how the season progressed and they started losing Europa League against Atalanta, which wasn't great.
But when you don't have depth, when you don't have quality depth coming on,
Yeah, but it's still Atalanta. Like, we're not talking about great teams here. And then in the league, Arsenal overcame them, Man City. You know, like, you started losing a little bit of that.
I just think that Liverpool had a good season, but it just matched expectations. That's what it did. It matched the expectation that we had for them.
the Carabao Cup gives them a little. It
did
would
win?
make them go from let's say like a B to a B plus. Like it just gives them a little boost, but it doesn't mean that much in the
So
grand
that's your
scheme.
grade, top of B?
That's very high.
I think that's too high.
very high.
I think
I'm
that's
going
too high.
low B.
I'm gonna say why? What warrants them getting them to
Yeah, I
B tier?
disagree.
Because Chelsea, for me, was a B minus.
Damn.
Yeah, that's on you, bro.
I think compared to expectations, they did exactly what Chelsea were supposed to do for their expectations.
But they spent a lot of money, and we expected them to at least compete with Man City, and
I
they
think
didn't
you
really.
go back. I don't think we had them competing with Man City. I think
We
if we're
did.
being no, I don't think we did.
They
I
were
think we
second.
all put them 2.
Yeah.
You didn't because you put Man U somewhere up there, but I think we all put them in
I
the
think
top
so
3,
too.
if not top 2. So the expectations were high, and they're ending the season with I have no glimmer of hope. There's slots coming in next season,
Yeah, there's no farewell tour for Klopp.
and if Salah leaves,
You ain't Kobe, bro.
yeah,
but-
he ain't
well,
Kobe.
he is. He
No,
look,
he ain't Kobe.
He ain't
not Kobe, but
He ain't Kobe.
He's
No,
like
he ain't Kobe, but give
he's
him
like
his
AD.
respect.
He's like AD.
No.
I don't know.
Anthony Davis, if you guys don't know what AD is.
For me,
A unibrow. He's like me.
God damn, bro roasted himself.
He's like you, but just
You guys didn't even have to
he's-
do it.
He's double your size.
I would say high C.
No,
though.
no, he's not double my. He's double my height. He's not double my size.
That's a knee slapper. That was good. That was good. It took me half a second. But that was good.
That silence was deafening.
Yeah.
Give your grades. Not grades. Your tier.
So C, but because of the Carabao Cup, C plus. On my
C
logic.
plus, I agree with that.
I went low B, so we'll do high C.
Millie, what's the next team?
Boys, we are headed back to Italy to discuss Juventus. The newly crowned Coppa Italia winners will end their season with a trophy. But is it enough to cover up their record this season? A strong first half of the Serie A season had Juve challenging for the title. But after Christmas, they ran out of gas and are finishing below expectations. Emerging talents like Cambiaso and Yildiz gave a glimpse into their bright future. So, where are we putting them this season?
I'm gonna just cut it straight. This was hopefully Allegri's last season managing. He got like this
hope
is
so.
a good way. By the way, as of recording, I just finished watching Juventus win a Coppa Italia. So it's bittersweet because
Don't change the tier because you guys won a Coppa Italia, bro.
you have to.
A toothpick changes everything. Like, no,
Bro,
we
you
ain't
are-
letting that
The
slide.
boys
you
just
have
took
to.
a step back, bro.
But you have to. It was a very comfortable win in basically our
a
FA Cup.
one-goal win in the last minute. but
Extremely
sure.
comfortable, but that's our FA Cup. We won it. It's
I better be hearing this later in the video too, huh? Our FA Cup, but we won it. But people will hear that.
But it wasn't all good. I find Juventus fans could be honest and say, look, the play style was horrible. They were playing.
but that's
horrible.
Allegri.
Yeah.
This is AC Milan with expectations. Like you guys just like to defend your mid.
No, Milan had more expectations than Juve going into
No,
the season.
bro, are you crazy? You
To
thought
me,
you
to
thought
me.
Juve was gonna win the league.
No, that was last year.
Bookies.
I feel like that might be true. But regardless, we watched the season. We saw how it unfolded.
It wasn't great.
Post Christmas, that was one of the best. That's the best stretch of form I've watched Juve in multiple seasons.
My issue with your guys' season is that your guys' building blocks, your foundational blocks, were not convincing this season.
Oh, for me they were.
Other than Bremer and Cambiaso, for me, your foundational blocks.
Vlahovic, the second top scorer. Bro, you're
I'm
lost.
still not
You're lost.
convinced. I'm not
Vlahovic is the
convinced.
second. He's the second top scorer in Serie A, bro.
You do not know how good Dusan Vlahovic was.
You don't, bro. Hey, what, he finished on 18 goals, bro? Like, watch some games,
brother. The reality is you weren't competing in other cups.
We won the Coppa Italia.
Okay.
We weren't in Europe.
You do not know how good Juve was.
You weren't in Europe, which means your focus should have been in the league. And arriving third, and you were
Bro, we beat Milan.
it with Bologna.
We beat Milan.
What does that mean? You're under us.
We still beat you.
But
We
you're
still beat you.
third and we're second.
Don't care, we still beat you.
Yeah, but Milan's foundational blocks are young players. They're players that can go somewhere.
I know Melli isn't sitting here or there. Melli, who was the biggest threat to your Scudetto this season?
Nobody, bro. Literally nobody.
Millie, come take my spot.
Gentlemen.
Mate, hey, look at the shot. Yeah, we can see the shot. Melli's, yeah, please, Melli.
Gentlemen. If we're going to be talking about Juve here, I'm going to say they were competing for about half a season. They were...
Who was your biggest threat, though? Were you scared of Milan at any point this season to take your Scudetto?
I'm sorry, but no.
Grazie.
Were you scared of Juventus any time?
For about 6 months, yes.
Yeah.
6 months.
Bro, 6 months
At
is
the beginning of the season, maybe,
Since that
when it was
Inter
like
game.
12 points,
That's
15
two
points.
trimesters, bro.
So let me get this straight. Juventus had a better season than Milan.
yeah.
They only won a Coppa
yeah.
Italia. That's all they did.
What did you do?
Like,
We at least competed and arrived
Brother,
second.
half your team thinks your team is a stepping stone. I don't even want to talk to
And
you.
what about Juventus? Nobody even wants to go there
No.
anymore.
We are the destination.
Juve were the biggest threat for a longer period of time than Milan. Milan were just more consistent this season. You guys were getting wins, but like you were okay. You were
Brother,
getting.
they were
I can't believe
95th minute winner.
Juve for
Revisionism is
6
crazy.
months. Juve for the last 6 months, like from Christmas to now, have not been like they've been playing well, but haven't been getting results.
This just shows me the media is just against Milan.
No,
'Cause
it's not.
You guys have been watching
Bro.
a season of Milan playing low-key good, competing
Yeah.
in many fronts, but Juventus is somehow better as a whole.
You're not
Doesn't make
important
sense.
enough as a team. You're not
Doesn't make
relevant
sense.
enough for us to even care to have put bad press on you.
But Juve were the competing with. It was Inter versus Juve for the title. But boys, where are you putting them?
I'm gonna say B tier.
Bro, what am I hearing? This is a D.
But what D?
I would say like a low C. Like you guys were not competing after Christmas.
Melly, get out of here.
Brother, you have to face the reality.
Melly, I brought you in. I could take you out, bro.
Those 1-0 wins did not last long, my brother. That's all I had to say.
So it looks like the common consensus is C tier. Melly, unfortunately, I'm actually now gonna have to kick you out. Barber, please come back in. Melly, what's the next team?
Now we're heading to Manchester. It is Manchester United. Injuries. United had a decimated squad, and unfortunately, their results suffered as well. With locker room drama adding fuel to the fire, it was a tough season for the Red Devils. Disappointing Champions League and Premier League campaigns made it even worse. So, where are we putting them?
I'm gonna keep this short and simple. F tier.
I don't know. I do know though it might be around F.
so maybe lower F, higher
I
F.
think I failed this test, but I don't know. I might have failed.
I'm going low D.
Low
Are
D.
you actually?
Yeah, I'm gonna go low D.
What
Yeah.
for? Just
Because-
vibes.
Just for presentation.
Because you do have to take into account the injuries.
E for effort. I get it.
But what? Mino's the only positive that came out of the season.
Garnacho.
What about him?
Bro, are we
Scored a-
trying to
scored-
act here like
scored a scissor
Garnacho
kick.
did not look good this season?
We really picked
Bro, it
up
looks like
crumbs over
yeah,
here.
I know.
bro.
We're
Oh my god.
Bro, let me
like
pick
this,
up
bro. On
my
the bottom.
Amad Diallo.
Amad Diallo's a
Amad
baller.
Diallo?
I can't lie. But come on.
What? Amad Diallo's a baller?
He is a baller.
No, he's
Pretty good.
My God.
But bro,
Amad Diallo's a baller. I don't know how someone can watch him and say he's not a baller.
He's just not.
I
a
see
baller.
something in him.
What do you see in him?
I see a very good player.
I see a loan plus option to buy to Milan this summer.
I'll take him.
Scored on you, dunked on you in the Europa
That's
League.
perfect.
Scored.
Because they're like a step. They're like a stepping stone.
Yeah,
You know.
should come step. We win a little bit of trophies here and there, and then maybe go back to Man United.
Yeah, maybe a Serie B trophy.
But honestly, I had them winning the title before this season, so I cannot. Yeah. So I can't say this season was anywhere near a success. It was an obvious failure. Even injuries included, you can still say like obvious failure. There was never a point in the season where I can actually say we played well for more than one game.
In comparison with other seasons, there was that period, but this season, nothing clicked.
Last season
there was
from
some...
February to let's say like March, May, I would actually say we were good. Like one of the top 5 best teams in the world.
You finished top 3, no? Top 4?
We finished third.
Third.
Yeah, but still, I still can't say that this season was just a failure from start to finish. Like it was not something that a serious club does.
Because you didn't go into literally, there was no game. Even if it was versus Burnley, there was still some part of me that said
They might
I
lose.
should watch this because they might lose.
Entertainment.
When was it where you were up 2-0? It was a really bad team. Was it Nottingham Forest or?
Bro, there was many situations like that this season.
Might be Sheffield United, bro.
It might have been Sheffield. Anyway, it was like this
Copenhagen.
There were exactly. There was that literally every single point of the season was just negative.
Yeah.
That just reeks of F. So I think F, you can call it D-,
but we know it's ending in F.
it's ending in an F. Millie, what's the next team?
The next club up is Arsenal. The Gunners have shown that they are one of the strongest teams in England, winning the Community Shield and making a run to the quarterfinals in the Champions League. Star signings like Declan Rice is just one of the top performers for Arsenal, giving them their closest shot of winning the Premier League title in a while. Where do the Gunners rank this season?
By the way, before we get into this is under the presumption that they do not win the title and all things stay the same in the Premier League. But we're going to also give a grade. Let's just say they do win the title.
I'm going to just say trophyless season.
Same thing as last season.
What are you playing football in Boston?
I'm going to say shit.
Shit, bro.
I'm gonna say, what does Millie always say? Showtime.
Showtime.
Prime time.
Prime time.
But all in all, Arsenal's season was basically, it's like, it was the exact same thing. All the brother did was take a step back.
No.
Yeah.
CL.
A toothpick changes everything.
CL. A toothpick. Big toothpick.
You
A tree.
played in CL.
What about
Bro,
CL? You got some experience
All
in
you
that?
did was beat Lens, Sevilla, and who else? PSV. Congrats, bro.
Yeah, well, we also made an achievement that when's the last time Arsenal made it to the round of 16?
I don't remember, bro. You tell me.
The bar is literally in hell, like in the dumpsters of hell.
Okay, and now what if I add the fact that we also competed with City again for the back-to-back season
Again.
with having CL?
Bro,
That is automatically an upgrade on
you were
last
making
season.
fun of the Milan fan for having such low standards. Your standard is competing.
Bro, competing. We don't know. We haven't watched this weekend. We can easily lift a Premier
Bro,
League
it's
this
like if
this
you
weekend.
go to rizz up a girl at the club and like,
This guy's about to see
Let's
some
hear it, let's hear it.
stupidity.
I almost got her, bro. I almost got
Almost
her, bro.
got her.
Next time, bro, I'll
Bro,
get her.
that may be the
and
case
then
for
you did
you.
it the next time and you still didn't get her, but you said, you know what? Next time I'm gonna get her also. I almost did it this time.
Personally, I don't have that experience.
Oh my god.
Basically, Arsenal did nothing special this season, assuming they didn't win the Premier League.
What is nothing special, bro?
I'm gonna give them low B.
You would be barking up the walls if Man U
Low
competed.
B.
If Man U competed with City
Low
and
B.
made it to a Champions League round of
Low
season,
B.
you'd
Low
be
B.
barking.
Low B.
Low B.
B, it's low.
Okay, I didn't think that's actually not that bad.
They were decent this
That's
season.
not that bad.
They were sustainably good,
They had a good season.
but they did nothing.
Did nothing. You see the O behind you?
Yeah.
On their shirt?
That was
Zero.
how many trophies they won.
I'm actually very happy with the season, and if I put Dortmund A-,
Well, that's just where that's where your first mistake was.
yes. So to follow up that mistake, Arsenal A-.
Don't ever come to me and say Arsenal's a serious club again, okay?
I won't.
A- with zero trophies.
Oh yeah, we just won a Community Shield, but yeah, it's not a trophy.
A community shield, bro. What are we?
Bro, we lifted
What
the
are
trophy.
you, Iron Man? No, you're a football club. You don't need a shield.
Bro, the Eredivisie is a plate, bro. We all have our different ththings that we covet.
Firm, look, all in all, Firms, what's your tier?
Bro, I just glitched. all in all, bar, B-.
Okay, sounds good. Millie, what's the next team? Oh, no, wait. And
Yeah.
if they do win the Premier League, what's their grade?
F. Whoa.
Did you hear?
S.
If they do what?
If they win the Premier
If
League.
they win the Prem, I'll give them low S.
Yeah. Lois.
Bro, that's one. It's out of their hands. You guys are so delusional. It's literally out of their hands if they win the Premier League.
Exactly.
Well, it
so if
should have
they
been
win
in
the
their
Premier
hands.
League, actually, you're right. It's out of their hands. So if they only win the Prem if City screw up. So actually, I'm gonna go
Low A.
high A.
Fair. No, but that's more fair. I'm just saying your logic is completely flawed.
Yeah, keep it like that. Millie, what's next?
The next club up is Manchester City. Even with some slip-ups at the beginning of the season, Man City have been rolling in the Premier League and are back to their usual best. Even with the Club World Cup and a Super Cup, their season went a little bit off the rails in the Champions League, where they lost to Real Madrid on penalties. Does this affect where they rank this season?
It pains me to say, but Firms, this is what I mean by a club with standards. Even with the Premier League, even with potentially an FA Cup and losing to Real Madrid in the Champions League, I'm gonna say it's a B+.
That's
B,
crazy.
High B.
That's crazy to say.
No,
Because that's a club with standards.
But they-
Milan, you see, that's what I mean by standards.
Brother, this is an A season. They're about to win the Premier League for the 4th time in a row.
But it's just that's a regular season.
Yeah, but it's
Exactly.
still an achievement.
It's a crazy achievement.
But if Bayern won the Bundesliga, we would not be sitting here and saying that's an A.
Okay, I have a question, Barber. I have a question. If Real Madrid win the Champions League, so they'll have a Champions League and
There's
a
a
domestic
difference
title.
between winning the Champions League for the 15th time and winning the Prem for 4 times.
No, but that's their standard. That's Real Madrid's standard. So now you created a standard of winning domestic and this. So next season, if Real Madrid don't
Doesn't
win
win.
either or, they
It's an
fail.
F season.
Yes.
Whoa.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
That's crazy.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Well, if they lose in like the round of 16 of Champions League, Florentino Perez would agree with me, and
Well,
Okay,
round
well,
of 16, but that's
If they
that's a
lose in the
different standard.
semifinal or if they lose La Liga, one of the two, you're calling that a failure of a season.
No, because I still gave them a high B.
Standards.
Ultimately, Man City, they lost to the favorites to win the Champions League. So that's a good season, in my opinion.
A
In
high B?
penalties,
You're acting like I'm saying high B's like some scrub.
it should be an A. They won the
I
Prem.
disagree.
They're competing in an FA Cup final. They got a couple of trophies in them.
It pains me to say, but it's automatically a better season than Arsenal's. Automatically, it's a better season
'Cause
than
of-
Arsenal's.
yeah.
Because you lost to Real Madrid, so at least you have that like mentally to fall back on. You actually won something that is in the Community Shield. Automatically, this is a low A. What did you say?
I said A.
A, low A, and Barbara said B, high B.
High B.
So it's
Low A.
Low A. Low A, and I think we're moving on to our last team.
Now, the next club up is Bayern Munich. The impossible has happened. Bayern have lost the Bundesliga title. And all it took was one of the best seasons ever to unseat the Kings. Bayern, for the first time in over 10 years, will finish their season without a trophy. Even with a prime Harry Kane, they couldn't get it done. So, where do we put these fallen giants?
Now we're back to the key word of this episode. Standards. According to the standards, it's not a good season.
We could agree with that.
Trophyless is inexcusable for Bayern, even though the way they went trophyless, I can somewhat understand. They lost the Bundesliga to an undefeated team and lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League, but it is still a trophyless season, and at Bayern, that's unacceptable. I'm going for D, high D.
That's too low.
That's harsh.
It's trophyless season at Bayern automatically should not be in C or higher.
That's kind of true though, but it's also they're also a victim to their environment because, bro, they were on 11 in a row, 11 Bundesligas in a row, and
You're
now
bound to fail.
you're bound to fail, and you have a team like Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen, which is like that
Comes out of
yeah,
nowhere.
exactly.
If
So
you fail but win a DFB Pokal, it's somewhat. The brothers lost to Bochum in
that is
DFB
true.
Pokal.
That is true.
Unacceptable.
Not great.
But to counter your point that they lost to Real Madrid, I mean, you would have had to beat a best team to win the Champions League regardless. You would have had to beat one. I mean,
One of the best
I mean,
in the
Real
world.
Madrid only had to beat Bayern to make it this actually and City. So
City.
cancel
The
out what I
only
said.
real highlight of Bayern's season was them beating Arsenal in the Champions League. Other than that, there were no real highlights for Bayern this season. They even got outclassed by Bayer Leverkusen in both times that they played. There was not much like to look forward to for Bayern fans this season.
But you see, that's just this season. I find obviously the standards make sense in this context, but the season has not been good. So that's why it's just
Were
a
the
C.
standards high? Were we
Yeah.
expecting Tuchel to comfortably win the Bundesliga
Yes.
regardless of their status?
Yes.
Yes?
Are you seriously
Are you serious right now?
Are you seriously trying to tell me we did not have Bayern winning the Bundesliga before this
No,
season?
we
I'm
probably
sure
did.
we did, but we just also didn't expect We didn't expect
Leverkusen to be
at
that
all.
good. But Champions League, they're always there.
Harry Kane, we should have expected it because Harry Kane is a serial loser. And Tuchel has never been good domestically. So what did we really expect? This should have been one that we saw coming.
Yeah, we just
And
didn't think
Bayern
about
spent a lot of money this summer, keep in mind also.
True.
So,
Team-wise, has there been any real positives? Guys like Pavlovic have shown themselves.
yeah, but it's in terrible seasons that players like Pavlovic are given chances. I'm not
True.
saying Pavlovic is bad, but it's like, look at Manchester United.
Limer as well, like guys like Limer.
Look at Manchester United. Kobe Mainoo only got the opportunity because we were bad.
Yeah, I guess that works. That works
Honestly,
hand in hand.
yeah, I feel like this is low-key a D.
A D?
A high D.
High D, maybe low C. But I feel like someone deserves to be a D, and it might be them.
If you're Bayern, you need to be held to certain standards. If you want to be talked about in the big boy conversation, you need to be held to certain standards. D+.
Ultimately, they're one of the best team in the world. So
Yeah,
usually,
that's why.
historically-
But I do think it's harsh because it wasn't like it doesn't jump out at you that it's a D.
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna say low C, but you guys both said D, so this is gonna move up to a D+.
So here's the final 23-24 season box-to-box tier list for every team. If we didn't do your team, then let us know what you guys think in the comments. And leave a like and sub also to our podcast channel if you guys want to check that out.
The road to 100K subs is heating up. Make sure to hit that sub button. We love you. See you next time.